The Civil War was a defining moment in American history, and there is no better place to learn that history than in Richmond and its surroundings. Curious about this period, I grabbed my camera gear and my dad, the family historian, and set out for those grounds where the North clashed with the South. Today, our destination takes us close to the end of the war, Petersburg. It was a vital rail center on the Appomattox River and gateway to Richmond from the south and the west.
This is the South Side rail station in the background there. And the rail station was built in the mid-19th century and so was operational during the Civil War. And they would bring supplies in from the west during the siege and also wounded soldiers to the hospitals here. And after a while, they had to stop further down the line and unload because this building was within, all these buildings were within range of the artillery. And this one still has artillery damage visible.
As the Union wagons rolled in after the siege of 1865, the town was all but destroyed. Today, Petersburg is looking much better and has excellent examples of antebellum architecture. Archaeologists were even working on digging up a Revolutionary period tavern. Don't miss Petersburg's most unique building, the Trapezium House, whose construction is said to have been influenced by Caribbean superstition, where right angles and parallel lines are unlucky.
What's wrong with parallel lines?
After a visit of the town, it was time to head to the battlefield. After Grant's failure to break through the Confederate earthworks to the north and east of Richmond, he disengaged from the bloodbath at Cold Harbor and raced south to attack Petersburg. Lee reached his already prepared entrenchments outside Petersburg just in time, but well supplied from City Point, Grant settled down to a 10-month siege with large artillery pieces and over 100,000 men. Lee's army suffered greatly that winter, as did the inhabitants of Petersburg. Here near the visitor center along these outer fortifications, the U.S. colored troops bravely captured Battery 5. There are some interesting artillery pieces at this stop, but what is especially impressive is the unique mortar piece down the hill from the battery.
The Dictator fired on Petersburg July, August, and September 1964, 13-inch seacoast mortar. The largest gun used during the siege could lob a 225-pound explosive shell more than 2 miles. During its service here in the siege, the Dictator fired 218 rounds at Petersburg and its defenses. It would really light up the sky when this thing went off. The barrels are so short that it blows burning gunpowder everywhere.
So that was the Dictator.
The Dictator.
It's a pretty good name.
Pretty good name.
I wonder how many Dictators they had.
One, I think. The rest of them were 10-inch.
Oh, here's the powder magazine.
Powder magazine for the Dictator.
225-pound shell.
Yep.
Would lob it.
More than 2 miles.
More than 2 miles.
With a 15-pound explosive charge in the middle.
All right, so what's next?
Next is Confederate Battery 8. This was captured by black Union troops. Renamed Fort Friend for a house nearby.
So this is a recreation of what one of these batteries would have looked like.
It is a recreation of a specific battery that was up here at this site.
Pickets. And the timbers holding up the earthworks and sandbags on top.
Yeah, except that they were pressure treated like this.
Right. Set up to blow away any car that comes down that road.
Any car that comes down that road. And it would do it too. It's another brass one.
Attempting to break through the line, a mining engineer from Pennsylvania built a mine shaft under Elliott's Salient, a large artillery battery. They packed it with 8,000 pounds of explosives.
This is the present entrance to the tunnel leading under what is now called the crater, which was a large artillery battery of the size that we tried to break the lines by destroying the battery with huge amounts of explosive, tons and tons of black powder. And it failed when the Union troops piled in on top of each other, and hundreds were trampled by their own men, and turned into a riot for the Union. It was a long tunnel, and as I keep saying, there were a lot of brave men around here at one time.
Since neither side could make a breakthrough, Grant began to move around to the southwest of Petersburg, forcing Lee to stretch his lines to the point that on average there was only one defender for every 10 feet of earthwork. The end was near.